Bro told y'all deep down south we don't play.
Disrespectful, disrespectful. Have no reason to be so disrespectful, disrespectful to the MVP. So disrespectful, disrespectful to the mayor of South Bay. Disrespectful, disrespectful, disrespectful.
I told my niggas we gon' make it one day.
What's good, everybody? It's your boy right here, man, KANGSTEPH. Welcome back to another KANGSTEPH reaction video. If you're new to the family, you're new to the KANGSTEPH gang. Make sure you smack that like button. Comment below, reaction videos you want to react to, as well future reaction. Make sure you comment below in the section as well. If you haven't already, you know I'm about to go. Make sure you hit that big red subscribe button, as well click that post notification bell so you get them shout out before and after every video. In today's video, family, we're reacting to the NBA's most disrespectful players. If you haven't seen my previous video, I just did the NBA I did the NBA's top 10 meanest players. Video in the link in the description box below. Make sure you check my video out, reaction video, as well as the original video. But now we get into the the most disrespectful. There's a lot of disrespectful players in the NBA. You know they probably got KG, Ron Artest, Kevin Durant, Draymond Green, Mario Chalmers, whoever, Kobe, the old school, the new school, who knows? You dig what I'm saying? Yeah. But without further ado, family, I don't know who's on this list. I'm just giving what my thoughts is, just like I did the top 10 meanest NBA players of all time. Without further ado, family, let's jump into the video. Gang.
Insulting a player's dead mom to telling a player what their wife tastes like.
Ooh.
These are the most disrespectful players in NBA history.
I remember that, man.
James Harden has trashed his own teammates, instigated fights,
Harden?
and turned careers into memes.
Harden?
This man has no chill.
That's true.
It doesn't get more disrespectful than this.
Good work. I thought it was going to be.
Woo!
Oh, he stared at
Went like water. Went like water.
Disgusting. Harden broke his ankles, stared him dead in the eyes, and shot the cleanest three I've ever seen.
Like an N1
But this
mixtape.
past year, he's gotten more disrespectful than ever. It started early in 2020 when Harden and Giannis were racing for MVP. Giannis was a team captain for the All-Star game, in charge of drafting his team. And when it came down to Harden, Kemba, and Trey on the board, Giannis took a shot at Harden.
Okay, this is a tough one. I'm between Kemba and Trey Young.
Wait, you
But I gotta go.
You don't want the dribbler?
I want somebody that's gonna pass the ball. That's what I want.
This moment set Harden off. And during an ESPN interview, he fired back some disrespectful shots.
Makes a joke on the air about, I want to take someone who can pass. I'm taking Kemba Walker instead of James Harden.
I have more assists than him. I don't see what the joke is. I just know none of them can mess with me. I wish I could just run in 7 feet and run and just dunk. Like, that takes no skill at all. I gotta actually learn how to play basketball, how to have
We've
skill.
been in the kitchen.
You know?
Come on,
Damn,
man.
Harden. Yeah, that's why Giannis had to do you dirty.
Look, I'm going to try and back down.
Oh, damn.
Harden in the head.
All right, I'm gonna be honest. That clip happened a year before. I just had to put it in the video, all right, man? But the
thought
point
that
still
was
stands.
the same.
Harden has caused a lot of drama, and he didn't stop at Giannis. He started disrespecting his own team. In the playoffs last year, rumors started circulating that Harden and his teammates were getting into arguments in the locker room. So it didn't surprise anyone when Harden demanded the trade this season. But the way Harden went about it was beyond disrespectful. Instead of showing up on time to training camp, Harden was out partying with Lil Baby. But when he did show up, man, he was fatter than ever. Harden even came out and said he felt the Rockets weren't good enough and couldn't be fixed. So when his new teammate DeMarcus Cousins was asked about the situation, he brought some news to the table.
Disrespect started way before, anything. Just the approach to training camp, showing up the way he did, antics out the court. Disrespect started way before.
Jimmy Butler is so disrespectful that a single...
Alright, let me get into the James Harden thing real quick. So y'all know LeBron has been in Houston since 2012, because the year after, 12 or 13, I can't remember, the year after they lost the finals to Miami in 5, I think that's when James wanted to stay, but they didn't give him the money, and that's when they traded him to Houston. And he did his thing in Houston, got Chris Paul, got Dwight Howard. That didn't work out. Couldn't show up in big, showed he was a superstar, but couldn't show up in big moments. Then years later, you know, after they got bounced out, you know, the whole thing, he didn't want to be there anymore. He got fat, but when he got traded to Brooklyn, which he wanted to, or he wanted to go to Philly, he got skinny again, but everybody think he wore a fat suit. We saw the memes of KD, Kyrie, and Mark Henry, but he lost all that weight. Like he did some kind of voodoo, loser shit on us. You know what I'm saying? But Harden, I wouldn't say Harden's a cancer. I'd just say Harden's more of, hell, I wouldn't say he's passionate like that, but Harden's like a silent assassin. Like you piss him off, he may speak his mind or whatever. He gonna show you another way. But yeah, that was a fat suit against that. And for John Wall and DeMarcus Cousins, and then he asked, and before all that happened, he asked Russell to be there. So they did everything you can, but small ball, you know D'Antoni don't run no defense. You asked for that, you know what I'm saying? And you ain't a defense person yourself. When you got to Brooklyn, now you with all this defense caliber player, but y'all still give 140-something points a night. You heard me. But yeah, I wouldn't call James Harden disrespectful unless it does with the dribble moves and he's cooking somebody and breaking their ankles and hitting that wet like water from beyond three though. But let's get back into Jimmy Buckets. I know Jimmy Buckets was disrespectful, but I know that because y'all about to find out the story from Philly, Minnesota, and South Beach. Let's go, man. Let's get it. Run it up.
Trash talking incident cost him tens of thousands of dollars.
Dang.
This moment went down in 2020 in a game between the Heat and the Pacers. With 6:29 left in the third quarter, Butler ran around a screen and drove to a wide open paint, but TJ Warren was there, and he grabbed him and wouldn't let go.
Wow.
Jimmy felt it was a little too rough, so he got right in TJ's face. Jimmy was yelling things like, "You're f***ing trash." He called TJ soft, so they both got technical fouls. But that wasn't it. On the very next play, they were getting physical, and Jimmy committed an offensive foul on TJ. So TJ started taunting Jimmy, yelling things like and clapping in his ears. So officials called another technical, and TJ was ejected. On his way to the tunnel, Jimmy started blowing him kisses and clapping back. And TJ kept yelling things and flipping off Jimmy. And they were both fined $25,000 after the game.
Damn.
But Jimmy didn't hold back when he was asked about this. He did an interview in the locker room post-game, completely humiliating TJ. He made fun of him because he didn't drop a like and subscribe to the channel. What the hell's wrong with this dude? Don't he know we close to $1 million? Damn. But Jimmy also clowned him about what happened on the court.
I think it's tough for him because I can guard him, he can't guard me. At the end of the day, that's what it comes down to. I ain't scared of nobody. So, you know, he talking about
Jimmy Buckets ain't scared of nobody.
It is what it is to me.
And then what did you notice the middle finger from him, and was the blowing of the kiss?
He's not even in my league, like nowhere near me. And if I was their coach, I would never put him on there ever again. He's like, no, put somebody else in because I'm a Taz.
Even though Michael Jordan had a reputation for being a trash talker, the things he said to players were beyond disrespectful. In 1995, the Bulls were coming off a playoff loss to the Magic, so training camp was serious. Jordan wouldn't let anyone slack, offense or defense. And the Bulls had just picked up Steve Kerr, a three-point specialist they needed. But when Michael and Steve were going against each other during a scrimmage, the two started swearing and arguing. Steve literally disagreed one time, and that was all it took for Jordan to punch him in the face, leaving Steve with a black eye.
Damn.
If that's how Jordan treated his teammates, you can imagine what he did to players on the other team. Obviously, Jordan wasn't scared of anyone, especially not Muggsy Bogues, the shortest player in history at 5'3". Muggsy was a great player, but one moment against the Bulls shattered his confidence. It was Game 5 of the 1995 NBA playoffs, and the Hornets-Bulls series was tied 2-2. This game determined who went on to the next round, and the Hornets had a chance to win. Down by just 1 point, Muggsy had the ball during the biggest possession of the game, with Michael Jordan guarding him. Michael stepped back, gave Muggsy space, and yelled to him, "Shoot it, you midget." And Muggsy took the shot, but missed terribly. And the Bulls won 85-84 to eliminate the Hornets. And this loss humiliated Muggsy. What Jordan said to him kept him up at night. He went from averaging 10 points per game to only 5 after this. And eventually, he admitted that play against Jordan would ruin his career. LeBron doesn't trash talk much, but if you come at him, he's not going to hold back.
True.
One of the best examples of this was back in 2008 between LeBron and DeShaun Stevenson. Early in the year, the Wizards beat the Cavs. DeShaun took that as an opportunity to take a shot at LeBron. During the post-game interview, he said, "He's overrated." You can say I said that. A few months went by and things were quiet until the playoffs came around. The Cavs and the Wizards were facing off for the third straight year, and LeBron was known to come in and dominate Washington, averaging around 32 points, 6 assists, and 8 rebounds against them. And the Wizards knew their defense wasn't enough to stop him. So that's where DeShaun Stevenson had some value, to try and get in LeBron's head. But that didn't work at all. LeBron was asked about DeShaun's quote earlier in the year, and he said, "With DeShaun Stevenson, it's kind of funny. It's almost like Jay-Z responding to a negative comment made by Soulja Boy. It just doesn't make sense to respond." Damn! You ain't gotta do Soulja Boy like that. Come on, Bron. Don't act like you weren't cranking that. And funny enough, after LeBron said this, Soulja Boy showed up to Game 3, waving towels, dancing, and repping the Wizards. So Jay-Z had to step in, because him and LeBron are boys. Jay went and recorded a freestyle to the song Blow the Whistle. He spit bars like, "Ask LeBron. We so big we ain't gotta respond. Who the f*** overrated? If anything, they underpaid him. Hayden, that's only gonna make him spend the night out of spite with the chick you've been dating." Damn. Jay-Z. And with that, this beef is over. Not only did LeBron and Jay ruin DeShaun's dignity, the Wizards also got blown out of the series, 4-2. But this wasn't the last time someone tried to come at the king. During a game between the Cavs and the Bulls, one fan let his courtside seats get to his head. Crybaby jokes, clown on LeBron's hairline. Things were getting out of control until LeBron really responded.
Shut up, stop crying. You lost Kyrie, you lost D-Rose, take your point guard for your life. D-Rose dipped on you.
Kobe Bryant had no chill. He didn't care whose feelings he hurt, not even his own teammates. Like, this one time after a loss, Kobe was so mad, he made his teammates throw their shoes away. On the All the Smoke podcast, Lou Will and Nick Young broke down what happened after a blowout loss.
Getting blew out and Kobe's in the locker room just waiting for everybody to come in. And you know everybody, yeah, man, got Kobe on the team. Come in, sit down, play like, yeah, soft. How y'all gonna wear these shoes and y'all soft ain't looking like. So I'm not thinking nothing else. Tell everybody to take their shoes off. Like, what's wrong with you, man? What's wrong with you? Nah, take them off. Take them off.
Hey, y'all did?
And we took them off.
Did y'all throw them in the middle of like the...
in the middle of the pile. Like, he fell along, he just started grabbing people's shoes and just he threw them all in the trash.
Wow. Oh, wow.
Y'all just hurt me. Until y'all get it right. Y'all can't wear no Kobe.
Kevin Garnett was one of the most notorious trash talkers in NBA history. Sometimes he went way too far, and it scarred players for life. The first time this happened was during the 1999 playoffs. Kevin and the Timberwolves were facing Tim Duncan and the Spurs. Kevin really wanted to win this series, so he tried anything to get in Tim Duncan's head. And on this particular game, it was Mother's Day. Unfortunately, Duncan's mom passed away from breast cancer 9 years earlier, one day before his 14th birthday. So Kevin saw his opportunity and he took it. As Duncan lined up for a free throw that game, Kevin yelled at him, "Happy Mother's Day, mother." Jesus, man. Obviously, Tim Duncan hated Kevin for this, but he never responded to nonsense on the court. Instead, Duncan made sure to circle the games against Kevin on his calendar and go all in for a win each time. But this wasn't the only time Kevin did something nasty to a player. Kevin Garnett was Joakim Noah's childhood idol, and in 2007, Joakim was a rookie, so this was the first time that he got to meet his idol in person. Before the game, Joakim walked up to Kevin and said, "Man, KG, I had your poster on my wall. I looked up to you, man." And Kevin responded saying, "F you, Noah," and walked away. And Joakim was crushed, and from that point on, he hated Kevin. But hey, at least Kevin didn't hook up with his wife like he did to another player. That moment came in 2013 between Kevin Garnett and Carmelo Anthony. They were playing a physical game in Madison Square Garden, and eventually, things went too far. The two were getting tangled up, yelling in each other's faces, and got technical fouls. In the middle of the scuffle, Garnett yelled to Melo saying, "Hey, Your wife tastes like Honey Nut Cheerios. Whew. Well, damn. And Carmelo took this personally. After the game, he showed up to the Celtics locker room and yelled at Kevin through the door. Then followed him to their team bus, and the situation got out of control. 5 NYPD officers, arena security, and Knicks coach Mike Woodson had to come separate them. And after this, Carmelo said, "I lost my cool. It's just something you don't say to another man."
KG was scared.
Kevin Durant has been known for his Twitter fingers, but on the court, he's as savage as they come. One moment came back in 2011 between the Thunder and the Heat. In the first quarter, Kevin and Chris Bosh started jawing at each other and they got technicals. But the situation started from a conversation between Kevin and James Harden. Chris Bosh broke it down and said, "I think he was telling Harden to dunk on me." I expressed that no, he's not going to dunk that, and it just kind of went back and forth. But, Kevin took the situation personally, like he always does. So he came at Bosh recklessly in the post-game interview, saying, "I'm no punk. I wasn't even talking to him first off. He decided to butt in, and I'm not just going to let that slide. He's on a good team now, so he thinks he can talk a little bit. There's a lot of fake tough guys in this league, and he's one of them." Maybe Kevin should have stayed quiet. I mean, after all, the Heat dominated the Thunder in the next year's finals, where things mattered the most. And eventually, Kevin got a great team of his own, teaming up with the Warriors. And he pretty much turned into Chris Bosh, based on what he said before. Kevin and Draymond were teammates for years, so he witnessed the trash talking firsthand. And Draymond talked about him saying, "KD makes you feel bad about yourself, that you ever talk junk. It's the funniest thing in the world, especially when you got legends like Shaq constantly disrespecting NBA players." I mean, Shaq is so disrespectful, he's been in Twitter beefs with damn near everyone. He's been in rap battles, even his mom had to get him to chill out. Wait, you want to hear more about that? Well, click on this video right here. These are the times that Shaq disrespected NBA players, and it gets pretty ugly.
Alright, y'all, man, y'all just checked out the NBA's most disrespectful players in NBA history, and they topped it off with KD. KD's not a trash talker, bro. I mean, when he joined the Warriors, he wanted to talk smack at Russell. Russell came back, even though they blew him out every chance they got. Then you talk smack on Bosh because he joined LeBron and Wade. But then you said in a Twitter battle, once LeBron joined South Beach, you would never do that, not the ring chase, that you would be loyal. Then you got up after losing a 3-1 to the Warriors. That's when the Warriors lost to the Cavs in 7 games. Then you got up and joined a team that beat you, pulling a Chris Bosh. But you're a trash talker. You're disrespectful. But Draymond said disrespectful, but you got mad at Draymond for disrespecting you because you was out the door ready to leave at Golden State. You're not disrespectful. You're soft. To me, like KD's soft-skinned. You dig what I'm saying? He's soft. So I don't know why they got him on here like he's soft, because Draymond came at you. Boogie Cousins had to separate y'all too. Kind of calm you down. You kind of disagree what he said. Come on, man. Come on, bro. You're not disrespectful. You're just soft-skinned and thin-skinned. You create these troll accounts to troll people to so-called make you a tough guy when you're not a tough guy at all. So I hope this Brooklyn year you show up and try to be a tough guy like they say you are, since you're disrespectful, but I don't see it because you ain't that cat. But the rest of the people you saw on their man and bitch before, Kobe, Mike, KG, LeBron, you seen it all, man. You feel what I'm saying? But like I said, man, it's more disrespectful, guys. He could have got Bird. You could have got Magic. You could have. I think they did Kareem in the top 10 meanest. They could have put Kareem on here. Most of the bad boys. They could have got Dennis Rodman back on here, you guys. Ron Artest come back on here, you guys. The whole 9 yards, man. Even Rasheed Wallace is disrespectful at sometimes. You feel what I'm saying? Rondo is disrespectful on here, but. Hey man, what a list, dog. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you smack that like button. Comment below more bangers you react to. As well, make sure you click that notification bell. Until next time, family. The God, the King, the Champ, King Steph is here, and I'm out. God bless. Peace.